we are going to practice Metta. And first, we'll do a short meditation grounding ourselves in the body. And then I'll share a bit about Metta filling the entire field of the body and Metta as a Samadhi practice and the benefits of Samadhi. It's deeply nourishing. And then I'll guide a longer meditation where we'll practice all that. And after I share, before the guided meditation, Emily will lead mindful movement. So after I share, will come Emily's mindful movement. Then I'll lead a practice. And then we'll have time for some group sharing. So right now, feeling yourself where you are, in the space, in the air that you're in. Closing your eyes if that feels right. And really finding a posture with energy and balance. And taking 2 or 3 longer and slower breaths all the way in and all the way out. I invite you to pay attention now to the entire field of the body, to the energy body. So it's a way of paying attention that encompasses the entire experience of this being, of this embodied being, feeling the space as a field of vibration, texture, sensation that might be subtle, and not straining to feel anything, but simply being open and receptive. And bringing that bright awareness out to the skin, to the boundaries of the body, and a little beyond. Attention from up and down the vertical axis from the top of the head to the feet. Just noticing, what does it feel like in this space? Across the horizontal axis. Just showing up with light attention, delicate attention to whatever is here. whatever calls itself, whatever arises, however subtle. This whole being vibrates with aliveness. And just noticing that wherever it turns up in the body. You might experiment with taking longer and slower breaths. Gently breathing in a way that's comfortable. Not necessarily moving a lot of air. With each in-breath, noticing the vibration, the aliveness. And perhaps with each out-breath, there's a sense of release. And just being open to whatever you feel. And the attention will shrink. So then you want to continually open it up to the entire body, out to the borders of the body and beyond a little bit. Exquisitely sensitive. What is the sense of space inside this body? And feeling free to experiment with the breath. You might sense or imagine that it's coming in, perhaps to the heart or the solar plexus, and going downward all the way to the toes, as well as upward to the top of the head, and then coming out the same way. This flow of aliveness. And whatever you feel is right. If there's a sense of striving or straining, don't feed that. Simply rest in whatever is here, whatever presents itself. So thank you, my friends. We're using the entire field of aliveness as a focus. And we will do that practicing metta. And even apart from metta, whenever we practice on the feeling the entire field, it may help us. It has the benefit of helping us to sense a shift toward well-being and comfort. Energy, feeling the entire energy body is a great way to work with emotions, both beautiful ones and difficult ones. Because whatever we feel and whatever is going on in the mind, of course, is going on in the body. And, we're an integrated being. There are different kinds of energies and flows and contractions. And so when we have an attention that feels that can help us in everyday life, as well as in meditation, because we're attuned with the body's energy, be it subtle or gross. And working with the entire field of the body can really help us get into a state of samadhi. And I'll get back to that in a minute, but first I want to go into a little bit about metta. And this might be going over what you already know, so I'll be brief. Metta, or loving kindness, is a samadhi practice. Samadhi usually is translated as concentration or gathering, collecting, unifying the heart, mind, and body. So, in a loving kindness meditation, we're cultivating kindness and compassion for ourselves and others by directly sending loving wishes, friendly, caring wishes to ourselves or to others. We can use phrases to do that, or images, or a sense of radiating, the heart radiating kindness. So, loving kindness is one of the 4 Brahma Viharas, which are divine heart states. They're said to be divine. And what that means is they're sublime. They're beautiful qualities. The other 3 are compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. And metta, the loving kindness, is really the fundamental one. Yes. And when you're doing metta, you might notice those other qualities burble up, and that's wonderful. That's natural. This is from the heart, the human heart's basic impulse to connect and to wish well in a profound sense. And we all have this capacity, the capacity to cultivate and radiate these qualities. It is our birthright as humans. And so please don't think you're not equipped to do this because we're cultivating these qualities. We're planting seeds. Sometimes metta practice may feel rote or dry, and that's okay. That's true for everyone. We're planting seeds. And if you notice that you're judging, if you're saying to yourself, I'm not feeling love, or I'm bored, or this isn't working, acknowledging that thought, that feeling with kindness, knowing it's natural, it's common, and having really friendliness for it. We can cultivate metta by being open and friendly to whatever comes up when we're practicing metta. So if you're feeling bored and disillusioned, just embracing that and not expecting it to change, just allowing it with friendliness. So it is a concentration practice, just like when we follow our breath and we really pinpoint our focus on our nostrils or the chest or the belly. And in metta, we traditionally start with ourselves. But for a lot of us, especially in our society, when we try to give ourselves metta or compassion, we run into resistance. And basically, we've been conditioned to think that the right thing to do is to be tough on ourselves. We go through life and we might not even be aware that we're withholding kindness until we get to this practice. We have embedded in us reservations about our worthiness, our lovability. We just don't think it's appropriate to give ourselves attention and support because there are a lot of other people that are suffering more, we might feel. And this is especially true if we're caring for someone who's ill or aware of an entire group of people that are suffering in an extreme way. And giving ourselves metta is a wholesome and beautiful thing to do. It's important for our own liberation. And when we do it, we're doing the best thing that we can to care for other people. We can only give to others what we have. We're all wounded in some ways, and somewhere within us, perhaps below the level of awareness, are wounds that manifest as arguments against our worthiness. Withholding love from ourselves impedes healing because that loving energy supports ourselves, it supports healing, and because it's not natural, it's important and very fortunate that we have these practices to cultivate it. So we'll cultivate the loving energy that can help heal us, and that allows it to flow outward. By generating that internal support, we have a basis, a bulwark from which to share our care with this suffering and broken world. Some people find it easier to give ourselves kindness if they focus on the body, the physical body. And the body, in fact, holds all of our psychic wounds, right? I mean, it keeps the score. We have constrictions in our body where we hold our anxiety and our judgment, our inner divisions. And so you might find that you can more readily offer care and kindness to the physical matter of the body. It's simply a thing, a physical thing. And it may be easier to wish it comfort than to think of it as giving love to yourself. So this practice of metta softens our heart and it integrates the divided parts within us. And it's especially powerful when we combine metta for the body with using the entire body as an anchor. And I really want to encourage this practice because it's a samadhi practice, a gathering, a unification practice. It can be beautifully nourishing. The Buddha said samadhi practice moves us toward liberation. And it brings a sense of well-being. And if we go with that, if we notice that and allow that to build and to be, it's greatly nourishing. In fact, it can bring physical sensations of pleasure. And the Buddha encouraged us to do that. He said, a practitioner works rapture and pleasure into the body in meditation in the same way that a skilled bathman works water into soap powder to create soap. So you all probably noticed that there are pleasurable sensations and feelings of well-being that come when you settle your mind on an anchor. And of course, it doesn't remove all distractions or make everything perfect. Our habitual patterns might still operate. In fact, the Buddha mentioned there are 5 hindrances to meditation. And I'll just briefly mention them. Sensual desire, for instance, you're thinking, I'm starving. And you start thinking about that delicious pizza you're going to have after meditation, imagining the melted cheese, etc. Sensual desire. The next is ill will or aversion. And that can be for anything. It can be for the guy next to you that's breathing heavily, or it can be for yourself if you feel that you're not concentrating well enough, or it can be for the meditation practice. You feel bored or you dislike it, and it has its own energy. The next is sloth or torpor, which means lethargy and sleepiness, which happens, I'm sure you've experienced it, and there are ways to deal with it. Worry and agitation is the next. And doubt, which can mean which I think probably is most commonly experienced as doubt in yourself. And the important thing to know about these 5 general categories, it's not important to memorize them, but just to know that they're totally natural. They're aspects of our attention, and when they arise, they tend to hook us, to hook our attention and make us believe the narrative that they create. Whether it's about you're being so sleepy you can't stand it, or about your inability to meditate. And we want to notice how we respond to hindrances. We want to notice that with kindness. So it's that's part of the practice, is responding to what is arising with kindness and with as much balance as possible. So it's really important not to take it personally. So back to the benefits of samadhi. First of all, we learn as we are doing this, we learn what comes up, the hindrances that come up, and we learn to be responsive. And the joy and physical pleasure I mentioned, the entire experience can be profoundly nourishing. And that pleasure, that joy can actually operate in our lives when we're off the cushion. It can be sort of a North Star when we're discouraged. It can help us understand that, yes, life, that joy and happiness is possible in this life. And it's not dependent on external circumstances or other people. Now, one pitfall with samadhi practice can be that we're trying to get so concentrated. Like if you're focusing on your nostrils or any anchor, really, we can get so fixated on doing it intensely that we judge ourselves. And I know that this is something that I've experienced. Am I feeling the breath enough? Maybe I'm not working hard enough. I'm not concentrating hard enough. Yesterday, I did it much better. That's the kind of thing that goes through my head. It may jangle you. And then the experience morphs into, am I reaching this goal? Will I get to this level of concentration that I want to get to? And that really constricts the heart and mind. And it makes the whole thing kind of joyless and tight. And we lose any sense of spaciousness. When we have a more open and spacious awareness, we're more able to respond to what's happening right here. And that's what we practice. That's the benefit of practice, is responding kindly and curiously, attentively, and respectfully to what is happening right now. So when we're feeling the entire body as a focus, it's a little easier to, I find, to have a spacious awareness, to let fall that hypercriticalness. So the energy body focus is sort of an alternative to focusing on the nostrils, or something that you might have been doing for most of your practice. we want to always monitor our level of effort in samadhi practice so that we can be, if we sense that we're judging or resisting, we want to give it some kindness. Step back and give whatever arises space, allow it, and give friendliness to it. And when we're doing metta, that's a perfect opportunity to sense the anxiety in the body, heart, mind, or sense the judgment. And in a formal way, offer metta to those feelings and to that experience. We might incorporate it into the phrases that we say. May great and natural ease flow through my body, heart, and mind. Or may kindness fill this sadness. May kindness embrace this anger I feel. Metta is enhanced. It can be enhanced by using your imagination and sort of visualizing metta as anything, as a glowing force, as a color that's radiating throughout the body, a golden or bright light. So experimenting with metta is important, just sort of playing with it. It's the heart's natural response. So experimenting isn't going to, muck it up. You're going to find what aligns with your heart. All right, so now please, taking a posture that's comfortable, upright, allowing your uprightness to reflect spaciousness. And feeling the entire vertical span of the upright body. Moving attention to the outer bounds of the body. Experimenting with the breath getting longer and slower. And sensing or imagining the entire space of the body filled with loving kindness. May I be safe and protected. Feeling the field of the body with bright awareness. And sensing this natural wish for safety, and sensing this illuminating the body's field. May I be safe and protected. Noticing any reverberations, any sensations, responding. Safe and protected. Allowing this natural wish to resonate throughout the body. Allowing it to softly, delicately stroke any places in the body that are tight, painful. May I be filled with loving kindness. Sensing or imagining metta as a warm, healing energy, or perhaps as a bright golden light flowing to places in the body needing comfort. Perhaps the spine, the jaw, the neck, the belly. Or scattered across the entire field of sensation. May I be filled with loving kindness. Allowing the body to be touched, the heart mind to be touched. Sensing the breath as metta itself. The infinite generosity of metta. And that means generosity with yourself. So whatever you're feeling is right. May I be peaceful. The wish for peace flowing swirling as an energy, as a golden light, or however you experience it. In the body. Stretching awareness to the entire field. Being open and receptive to this being responding to the wish for peace. This natural wish for peace. Flowing, permeating those places in the body that might feel strained or frayed, that carry suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be peaceful. Opening to the sense of metta, where it is felt anywhere in the body. Letting go of constriction. May I be happy, truly happy. Allowing this wish throughout the body. And being kind with whatever is arising. May I be happy. And now turning to someone who is easy to love. And sensing or imagining that they're with you, next to you. May you be safe and protected. And just allowing a sense of kindness to flow outward to this loved one. Bringing awareness to the field of sensation, attuned to it, welcoming. Welcoming this well-wishing to flow outward to this loved one. May you be safe and protected. Safe and protected. Staying with the body's sensations. Sensing metta as a living energy. Perhaps there's a color, a warmth, a texture to it. May you be peaceful. And sensing your metta permeating the being you love. Healing. May you be peaceful. May you be filled with loving kindness. The heart radiating metta. Perhaps it's flowing through the arms and hands or in some other way to your loved one. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be peaceful. Remaining open to the wish, the warmth of metta, flowing awareness to the entire body if it shrinks, enlarging it to fill the space. So the entire field is radiating the metta, the wish for peace. May you be happy, truly happy. May you be happy. And resting in the metta in the body, and feeling the breath as metta. So this class has really been based on teachings by Rob Burbea, a teacher in the UK who passed away in 2012. And his teachings are now being given by his student, Yael Avigar. And Samadhi practice is insight practice. So that's what Metta gives us insight into the truth of things, which are suffering, impermanence, and the lack of a separate self, separate, unchanging, solid self. And metta in particular helps us, the more we practice, it helps us realize that we're not separate. it helps us realize the changeability of everything from moment to moment. And next time I teach, we'll explore how it gives us insight into this, the creation, how we create a self and suffer from that. The more solid that our sense of self is, the more we cling, the more we suffer. And metta is a beautiful way to soften the boundaries, the strict boundaries of self.